Hi, Lucia.
Hi, Ro. How are you? Are you good? Can you hear me?
Can
Oh,
anyone
okay.
hear me? No.
Hello? Can you not hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Oh, okay, cool.
Thank you. Thanks, Stefan. I'm in a meeting, Lucia, so I've just stepped out because I can't not be present with you. So thank you, and it's being recorded. At 12 o'clock you start and you take it through the end. I have nothing to contribute. So this is your 1 hour. Okay.
Cool. Thank you,
Now I
Rowena.
can't hear you, so it's my problem. Can somebody say something, Lucia? Because for some reason I'm not hearing anything.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Can
Yes, I
everyone
can hear
else?
you. I can hear you.
Oh,
Okay, perfect. I have got it now. Thank you so
okay.
much.
Okay, we'll start at 12 on the dot. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to know, you can maybe give me a wave or you can raise a hand if you can hear me clearly. Okay, great. Okay, I'm Lucia Hartnick. I am a full-time lecturer for SOE in or at VC Durban North, and I'm very excited to share this new app with, or not new, but an app with everybody called Brisk Teaching. But before we begin, maybe I can just ask one or two volunteers, I guess, if you could describe your day so far using a food, what would it be and why? I don't want to have to ask anyone, so it would be good if someone can volunteer. Cassie Stephen is typing. Ilse.
All right, I hope I understood you correctly. A food, I'd say watermelon. And
Okay.
why? Because when I stepped out of the house, everything was so green and beautiful and yeah, vibrant. And then we get to the heart of education, which is just red and bleeding. Absolutely fantastic. And then the white is the part that cannot drain us. That's the part where we're very mindful and we give more to our
Mm,
students with emotional support. And the black, the pips are just the bitterness in between that we tend to just spit out and move on.
wow. Wow. Thank you, Ilse. That was so like well said. Love it.
It's
Let's
a pleasure.
see. Rose says sushi, but sandwiched. Okay. Stephen says squashed sandwich, lots to do with a tasty morsel, a smashed tomato. Everything has gone south. Wow. Okay, guys, I'm glad we're being honest and that this is a safe space to share. And what I will share today, I'm hoping that will at least make it a bit more tasteful, whatever it is that you are eating. Um, But yes, I share very similar, same sentiments. I'm not sure if any of you, I guess all of you were probably teachers at some point in your life. I was for about 7, 8 years. And I know during that time, I always imagined teaching and in this case, lecturing to be somewhat like the lady we see. Not necessarily, her appearance, but she just looks so well put together. She looks, like she's able to take on the world. She just looks prepared, right? But I'm sure that most of us feel like the lady on the right, where there's just a lot going on all the time. And I know between prepping and yeah, there's always something happening, especially at VC, because we're not just lecturing, but we're running initiatives, we're doing admin, and yeah, it's crazy. So I know for most of us, we imagined our life to be like the lady on the left, and most of our days are often filled with planning and prepping and trying to make things fun for our students. So I really hope that what I'm about to show you today will make it a bit easier, or at least will make it exciting. So today, yeah, we will discover how this particular AI tool can help teachers look forward to having fun in the class. And when I say teachers, I'm also referring to lecturers. We will focus on how we can reduce time spent on repetitive tasks. We will look at how to enhance quality time with students and then actually focus on them and not necessarily all of the prep work. And lastly, we will look at how we can help them help us. Because as lecturers, we are always trying to find, I don't want to use the word easier because that, it's a negative connotation to it, but we want to work smart and not necessarily hard. So yes, it's called Brisk Teaching. Has anyone heard of it before? Besides me posting it on the Excel sheet? Or has anyone used it? First time, okay. Okay, great. I'm quite excited to show you this then. It has become my favorite tool to use when prepping lessons, resources, activities, etc. And I will also, show you how we can use it, and then we'll have some time to play around. So I'll just show a short clip that does the introduction, and then we'll take it from there. Just let me know if you can hear in the chat. I'll start it in the meantime. Okay, so that's Brisk Teaching, and how it works is, like I mentioned, it is installed as an extension. And when you go onto Chrome, it only works with Chrome and Google Forms. Then you will be able to access all of the features that it has, which I will show you. But essentially, what you heard from the video is that in a click of a button, you are able to adjust reading levels of news articles, academic articles, YouTube videos, um, yeah, what else? Guided notes, whatever pops up on Chrome, you are able to adjust those reading levels, making it very accessible for the students, right? Because we know that even though our students are in higher, tertiary education, then they may not necessarily be on that level. And sometimes we have to change it to a matric or a grade 11 level just for them to understand. Um, and I think I love this the most because I am very passionate about inclusive education and accessibility. I think through something like this, we are able to make one article accessible to all types of students, right? Um, and then, of course, being able to change the reading levels, we can encourage better understanding and engagement. We can generate curriculums, we can personalize them, we can tailor lessons, and then of course this saves time on lesson planning. We can then provide feedback opportunities as well. So essentially what Brisk can do, if you have an article, right, and you want to create a quiz, it will generate a quiz, and then as the students fill it in, it gives them feedback on their answers. Now, of course, we know that with AI, we have to handle everything with a lot of care. So I'm not saying that this will replace any assessments or, the big summative informative ones, but I think it will make the ICE tasks a bit easier, and whatever other assessments we have in the classroom, it will be able to make it easier so that we can focus on meaningful interactions. Yes. We are able to analyze class progress, so we can track class progress with ease. We can identify growth areas without reading every single assignment, and we can use data to improve teaching strategies. We can also understand student effort. So, as we are reading or as we're asking Brisk, the icon, to sort of give us feedback on what the student did, we are able to prompt it, and then it can give us insight into their efforts. We are able to recognize hard work and areas that need improvement. And essentially through that, we are able to support students more effectively. And then lastly, we can detect AI usage. Now, I know that the IE, we've adopted new policies when it comes to, AI. So we're not trying to tell students not to use it. I think what makes this so fantastic is that, it's not like ChatGPT where you ask it for something, and if it doesn't find it, it will sort of give you phantom or like ghost readings, ghost authors, etc. I know through ChatGPT, it also has a very like strong Western influence. So sometimes a lot of the work you get is from American authors or European, etc. But with Brisk Teaching, it only takes from what you give it. So if you give it a source, right, it will then create whatever it is that you want from that. So it still encourages students to go and find the source or the resource, read through it, and then ask it to create whatever it is that they need. So yeah, I think it will really help students in terms of becoming a tool or an aid. And then for us, if our students don't disclose that they've used ChatGPT, we are able to use Brisk to identify those that have used it. And then, of course, through that, we can ensure that our students are academically honest and that we can encourage original work. So this is essentially what it does. I just want to check if anyone has downloaded the extension. Okay, there are a few. Okay, great. I'll just wait. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll just wait for some responses. Still loading there. Okay, no problem. What I will do is, I'm just sorry. I left it instead of stop sharing, but what I'm going to do is before I explain how to download the extension, I will just show you guys some of the things that I've done. And then, yeah, I'll show you how to download it, and then we can all sort of play around with it. So I'm going to share my Chrome screen. Please don't judge my millions of tabs. Yeah, I'm trying to do some research here in between everything, so there's just a lot going on. But this is a good example. So when you download the extension and you open up, so yes, it works with Chrome, and I know that some might find it to be a bit of a con because others tend to use Explorer or a different search engine. But for me personally, I just like using Chrome. I think it's the most effective. And then also you'll see that everything it populates, it will populate on your Google Forms, which is also not necessarily a con because you can download it. As soon as you download it, it opens up into a PowerPoint. You can then upload it into Canva, for example. And it's just a means to be able to, take information from a YouTube video as an example. Okay, so this is an academic article on the reflections of social constructivists on teaching methods. So this particular article, it might make sense, and I might find as a lecturer that there's a lot of good points for students to understand. I teach inclusive education, so it's a bit of a complicated and a complex concept. So I want to create guided notes, right? So I click on you can all see my screen. I just want to check. Okay, cool. So you click on the extension, you click on create. It might be a bit slow now because I'm sharing it, but yeah, so all of these curriculum essentials pop up if you want to create a quiz, a lesson plan, a resource, what else, presentation. You can even create an email out of it or just an email template, but for the sake of today, I want to create guided notes. So I click on guided notes. I then have to prompt it. So it gives you an automatic prompt, create guided notes about this PDF using headings. Okay, I want headings per section, so I've added it. And then my second year students, I've realized they don't necessarily understand academic language, so I want to make it 11th grade. Okay, then I brisk it. And what will happen is it will open up a Google form, as you can see. And then you just give it some time to generate. Okay, cool. So now you can see I've got a guided, let me just get this out of the way so you can see clearly. Oh, there we go. I have guided notes on social constructivism and teaching methods, and it is for the reading level of a grade 11 student. Okay, so social constructivism is a theory about how people, and then they would have to fill in the missing words. Key points about social constructivism: knowledge is shaped by one's own, and then they have to fill it in. So, for example, if I'm a student and I decide, okay, social constructivism is a theory about how people share, and this is just me making it up, share and give knowledge. Okay, knowledge is shaped by one's own, let's say, imagination and understanding. Constructions of knowledge can be, let's just say, a give or a take. I'm being one of those rebellious students. And then knowledge is created through speaking between teacher and students. Okay, so now as the student, I've submitted this or I'm done with it. And now as the lecturer, I want to go and see what they've done. Okay, so now again, I open my extension, I can give feedback. And either I want to align it with a particular rubric that I have that I can upload. I want to identify areas of strength, growth, and have question or probing questions that the students can really think about and reflect on. I want to, again, give feedback based on a rubric or suggestions for next steps and strategies to build up core skills. So for example, if I decide I just want to give them feedback, again, I can specify what I want to focus on. And then again, 11th grade. Okay, brisket. So let's see what feedback they give me. Okay, so Glow, these will obviously be positive comments we want to share with the students. Great job organizing the notes into clear sections with headings. You captured many key points about social constructivism. Of course, the feedback isn't on my work. It will be about how I've, created the guided notes, but just created it. So, yeah, that's obviously the loophole, but I'm just showing you as examples. And then they also give you feedback on how you can grow and, possibly questions you might have. So, this is an AI, like I said, and you have to check it very clearly, but it really helped me a lot in the sense of I was able to take the brisket video and I was able to ask it to create a PowerPoint on it. All the slides you saw, that was literally from brisket, and I just read through it and I formatted and edited the way I wanted to. Another example, I can go to a YouTube video. This is particularly on inclusive education. Yes, Lauren?
Sorry. So I've added this into my Chrome, but I'm not getting that little button on your screen.
Mm.
So what did you do?
Okay, I'll show you at the end of this. I'll show
Oh,
a
okay,
little
thanks,
video. Yeah, then you
thanks,
can just trace your steps.
thanks.
Yeah, just one more thing and then I'll go there. This is a YouTube video. It's a TED Talk on inclusive education. Again, it pops up on my Chrome. I want to create a quiz on the YouTube video, and I want to make it 12th grade. So I brisk it. And then again, it pops up and it takes some time obviously to generate, just depending on how yeah, like big the resource is that you wanted to create. Okay, so this is your quiz. You can see that it's quite detailed. It speaks about the speaker, describes inclusion as, and then they have to, fill in the missing words. Again, like I said, if you want a quiz that is multiple choice, you can say in the prompt section, it's multiple choice. If you want a quiz that requires long or short answers, you put it in the prompt and then it will be able to give you that. But this is essentially what Brisket is all about. If you do open it, you can also inspect writing, you can give feedback, you can change the level, and then there's a bit more of maybe I can show you how to make a presentation or how it pops up. So let's see. Oh, and with the presentation, you also get some cool backgrounds. So let's say I choose books. Okay, so then now you can see you have a presentation on the YouTube video or the TED Talk. It also creates and finds pictures, which I find is quite amazing. Yes, and then of course, if you don't prompt it in a lot of detail, it will do, its own thing. So it will create its own headings, for example. Yeah, but as you can see, it's broken it down quite nicely. You get benefits of instruction, teaching social skills, data-driven instruction, key outcomes of inclusion. So of course, with the human element, we might include all of these 3 slides into one. But like I said, at least it's typed out, it's there. All you have to do is copy, paste, and move it around. So yeah, this is the tool, the AI tool. Any questions before I show you how to download it?
Alicia, have you used this in class already?
Not yet, but I have created some materials and resources with it, which I want to implement now in the first semester.
Oh, it'll be so lovely to hear how it plays out in the classroom. So maybe, in our team, just say I used it and this was the reaction or the impact of it.
Definitely, definitely. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so I'll quickly play the video and then, oh, sorry, wait, I have to play it with sound. Yeah, so I made the video. You'll see I typed in Brisk It, but should be Brisk Teaching. But Lauren, did you do all of these steps?
Yes. So that
Mm.
little icon that was at the bottom when you displayed your PDF doc,
Yeah, it's not there.
that doesn't pop up. I don't know if anyone else is
When you
experiencing the same.
if you open up Chrome, and
Yeah.
it's in the top right corner, it looks like a puzzle piece. If you
Yes.
hover over the extensions,
Yes.
does it pop up there?
Yes.
And if you click on it,
I've said manage extensions. It's on all the allow for everything.
that's so strange. Did you pin it to your toolbar? That's also something I did.
Let me see.
I see we have some people typing in the chat. So
I'll try
perhaps,
that.
okay, while Laura and I try and figure it out, for those who have, I would like for you to play around with it for like 10 minutes, and then also make sure you've allowed access to file URLs. Okay, so maybe you can try that, Lauren. But yeah, so we'll play around with it for 10 minutes. You can please obviously create a resource that you will use for your particular module, because I would like to see what everybody else does and comes up with. And then by 22, we'll just, yeah, whoever wants to show what they've done, yeah, that will be amazing. Okay, is that fine with everyone? Oh, I was saying that now for the next 10 minutes, we will all play around with it and create a resource, a PowerPoint, whatever it is that you want to create, and then we can like show each other. Is that fine with everyone? Okay, cool. So I'll play some music and then we can get started.